Hello friends, I am Kaushal Kumar. I have more than 16 years of experience in the software development industry. Welcome to my channel AI for developer and tech leaders. In this channel, I promise to you that I will build your knowledge in the machine learning and AI. You only need to stay in the .NET. No need to change your technology. No need to switch in another technology. So we try to understand unsupervised learning, why this exists, what is the use in the industry. Let's try to understand the unsupervised learning. Right now most company having digital data, because now the digitalization in growing, so we have huge digital data, but exactly we don't know what patterns exist inside the data. If you know supervised machine learning, in that you train your data, you know the structured data, you know the labels, you provide the training to the data, but that's a huge time consuming, and nowadays no one have a time. Yeah, no company will wanted to put that much of efforts on the training of their data. So how we understand, how we solve the real world problem, that's why there is terms comes unsupervised machine learning. Unsupervised, very clear, no supervision. Do yourself. It's unsupervision. Try to understand this example. Let's say there is a one child who enroll in the school, and then school provides a complete training, complete sessions to them, regular classes, teacher will teach them. So the child will build the memory and understand. But another one is, hey, enroll in the school, then learn yourself. No one gave you the training. Yeah, unsupervised, no supervision is there. So this is unsupervised learning. We try to understand how it basically works. So the AI itself automatically group your data, make a segmentation in your data without any rules defined. So you don't define the rules. Till then, in my previous sessions, you understood, and we did this big practice. More than 30 videos I recorded for the supervised machine learning roadmaps, concepts, how do you provide the training, how do you use that model, what is the accuracy, what's the evaluation matrix. So there's many topics I already explained, and then those all the recorded videos exist on my this channel. You, if you are new, you can refer those and you can build your understanding with the supervised machine learning. But now I'm talking about unsupervised machine learning. So here we don't provide any rules to the machine learning models. Let's model learn based on the patterns, based on the data behavior, and then group into it. This is called unsupervised machine learning. And the ML.NET. In ML.NET, we have unsupervised, because ML.NET support classic machine learning using ML.NET using k-means. So there is a one trainer is called k-means. I will explain you in the practical in this session only about the k-mean. But try to understand what exactly clustering, why clustering is needed. Clustering means what? AI groups similar data together automatically. That means you provided your data, raw data you provided, and then model will categorize the data, group the data into smaller or bigger, whatever in the group. Those belongs to similarities. So the machine learning model will split your data based on the similarities and combine in a one similar group. This is called clustering. So there is no label, no predefined category, no manual rules, as you already did in the supervised machine learning. You provided the heavy training to the model, but here no training needs to be provided to the model. You have a data and let model try to understand the patterns from your data. So this is called where it's actually used. Why now the question comes in your mind, where you use this unsupervised machine learning? That's fine for theoretical purpose, is fine, but exactly where is it used? There is a heavy use in the industry, right? This is the main use. The classic machine learning, when you understood supervised machine learning, that is good for beginning purpose, where you know your data, you know behavior, you know the patterns, then go with the classic machine, go with the supervised machine learning. But when you don't know anything about your data, you have a data only, and you want a model, let's take this data and figure it out based on my data, then you need to go with the unsupervised machine learning. We will, in this session only, we will talk more about customer behavior. Let's say we have customer data, and then customer data like what is a very higher level. Let's say the customer spend monthly spend ratio of the customer. So customer monthly spend certain amount, and then they frequently visit to for the shoppings, and then during the shopping they spend the certain amount on the monthly basis, and we will figure it out, the low value customer, medium value customer, high value customer. But we will not give any training to the model. Hey, this is the concept, this is the rule for low value, this is the rule for high value. No, nothing. We will give very simple data. Let's say, hey, this is the monthly spending limit of the customer, and then the number of frequent visit the customer will conduct during a month. Try to segment my customer based on this data. So the model will, and clustering here we say, okay, let cluster in three groups. One is low value, medium value, and high value. So we will see this, and let's try to see. Yeah, let's start working. Let's create a new file. Clustering.pynb pynb. Okay, let's copy the things. I think let's copy here, choose the kernel. It's .NET Interactive we are using, and then use nugget packages. Maybe you need markdown, then use clustering k-mean. All right, so use this. Let it add the reference. Good, reference is added, and then reference is added. Now what you need, as you already know based on previous sessions, we need data. Then the data, let's add the data here. As we already discussed in the session, we will use the customer data. Here we have customer monthly spend and then frequency. Let's use this data, and this is the contract, and prepare the data for this contract as well. Okay, let's prepare the data for that contract. Let's execute this. Once it's executed, we will prepare. Good, let's prepare this. One more thing we will use, that is the output. This is the input, and this is the output. Cluster prediction, where we did say the predicted label. Let's add this. Once this is added, as you already aware guys, what we need ML context. Add here ML context. This is ML context is created. We need I data view to load our data. Yeah, this will reload the data. The data would be load from enumerables. Okay, hold on, let's see what happened. Okay, the spelling mistake here. Let's correct this. So the data is loaded. So at this time we prepare the data here. That's a small segmentation we have prepared. The monthly spend limit of customer, and then frequency, at what frequency they are visiting. Yeah, at what frequency they're visiting, that I have here. Okay, once this done, the next stage is what we need to prepare the pipeline. So simple, the pipeline which you already know. Pipeline for the model. Here we don't provide the training, but only keep a pipeline. What is the pipeline? Transformer. Here we will use the ML context transformer concatenate, that's required, the feature column, and the feature column, then feature column will have monthly spend and then visit frequency. And then after that, you need to use clustering ML context. This is the trainer. This trainer you need to use. Trainer here this the trainer and algorithm we need to use. This is algorithm clustering, and the trainer is k-means. K-mean trainer will use, and then the parameter is number of cluster and how many groups exactly you want to break your data. So as you can see, there is no grouping, nothing. It's so simple. The data is available here, and this data is split into groups. Let's see. So this pipeline is done. Once pipeline is done, what we'll do, we will try to fit. Let's fit it. We will perform fit pipeline.fit method. Yeah. Once this done, the next is prediction. Pretty simple, isn't it? Next is prediction. Clustering predictions. We will perform clustering prediction. How? Based on this. So let's execute this. Here we say create predictor engine, customer data, and then output, and then we provide the model. Yeah, what model we do have here? We can simply predict. We can predict based on what? We can predict. This is based on our data. Let's say new customer data, monthly spend will provide something, monthly spend, visit frequency. Then we say okay, and then predict it based on this data. It will predict, and then we will print the prediction. Which cluster this customer will belong? The customer belong to cluster ID 2, because here we says what does means by cluster ID. We can see this. There are 3 cluster, 1, 2, 3, and this is grouped by machine learning algorithm. Yeah, we will see what does cluster exactly means in the graphical terms as well. Let's say here you can increase the number of groups as you decide. Yeah, try to figure it out based on this data, how this will looks like based on our this data. So what we can do, we can simplify this based on the for each loop. Let's say for each based on the customers. Yeah, this customer collection we already have, and based on this let's try to figure out what is the problem. Okay, all right, so let's try to figure out based on this, because here we will provide the data. You can see the same data I given. Can you see here the data which we have, monthly spend and frequency? So I'll give the same data. The customer spend 200 on the monthly basis, and then the number of frequency is this customer belongs to 3 cluster, and then 3 cluster, 2 cluster, 1 cluster. This is our segmentation, where the model also model itself define the clusters. This is the clustering. Pretty simple, easy, isn't it, guys? Now the main question comes, when you should use clustering, means unsupervised learning, when you should not use clustering. This is the question. So let's try to figure it out, when you should use clustering or unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning or clustering you should use when you have a data, but data is unlabeled. There is no category, no label, then unlabeled data you have, then you use clustering. When you should not use clustering, if you have a data, your data is structured, it's well defined, you already knows about the data, then don't use clustering, because in this case you can use with supervised machine learning, where you prepare your pipeline and then you start predicting a data. This clustering means non unsupervised learning only means when you have unlabeled data, not categorized, uncategorized data. Yeah, so your model will learn itself based on your data and then give you the prediction. Yeah, similarly let's say maybe you can figure it out, or you can do more practices, guys, in this, in based on the unsupervised machine learning. This is common use case happen in banking. I will give you the example. I think most of you already face this. When you perform a transaction, yeah, you perform a transaction, the bank suspect the fraudulent transaction. How it's happened? This is open question to you. Try to understand whether you apply supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning. This question to you. Stay tuned. Continue practice. In the next session, I will talk more about deep learning and then deep learning trainers which supported by ml.net. See you in the next session. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Stay, continue your practice.